taxes, inflation, and the breakdown of the family are causing us to fall behind. We have the lowest net worth in the United States, and I'm sure those numbers cross the border as well.
Some people get the disability tax credit and they don't open the registered disability savings plan, and that's where the government puts in all the money of grants and bonds for a person with a disability who has done all the steps. Some people don't do all the steps.
Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that, I say movement, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And the Dr. Vibe Show, created in Canada, syndicated around the world.
So first of all, before I get to the nitty gritty, I think it's important to decide what is your health goal for 2025. So it's very important because we rush through our day. You know, we have a routine, we get up, whatever that is, but we don't always take the time. And I'm not saying it's always a January thing. We should be doing it, regularly, but set your goals. So I'm, focusing right now on health, but there should be financial goals there. There should be relationship goals there. There should be your daily task goals there. But let's just focus on, what is your health goal? Is it that you want to just, lose 10 pounds or 50? Is it that you want to get off of your, diabetic medication? Is it that you want to reduce your cholesterol because it was high on your last blood work? Is it that you want to increase your energy? Like, just really think about your health. Maybe you've got some bloating in your stomach. Maybe you've got some insomnia going on. So write your health goals. There might be one, there might be 10, but put them out and then look at them and be like, how can it's one thing to write a goal, and it's so great. Everybody writes goals all the time, but we don't always make the practical applications of how am I achieving this goal? And you've got to write that down as well. I mean, it's easy to say as they're taking the poll, yeah, I want to be consistent in my exercise. Well, what is keeping you inconsistent in your exercise? Is it because you're constantly late at the office? Is it because you're on social media all night and you shut down late and then you can't wake up early enough? Like, what's keeping you from being consistent? What's keeping you on your blood pressure, diabetic, or cholesterol meds? Right? What's making your stomach bloated? If you don't know the answer to any of these questions, you can always book a consultation with me. But some people do know the answers to these questions, right? So set those goals and then create another page of paper. And I really believe in writing things down because it gets in the mind. Don't just type it out on your phone. Exactly. So write out, what are the practical applications and what's hindering me right now? So not just how am I going to achieve it, but what has been stopping me from achieving it? Because I'm certain that this isn't the first time that you thought of losing weight or getting your bloating down or come off of medication.
All right. So as I get a call to action for people on the poll, we have some results, updated results, right? It's equal, 33% across the board on more exercise, reduced takeout food, and increased vegetable intake. So that's the poll so far. So again, if you're watching, I know there's a number of you watching on YouTube. I know I see that, and I fill out the poll. I also want to say good morning to Right Way Home, who is my co-host, one of my co-hosts on Black Men Can Talk on Sundays at 8 p.m. So good to have him, and he really enjoys the information that you're sharing. We've had offline conversations. He says, yeah, she knows what she's talking about. I go, oh, absolutely. So I've got a question for you, Carolyn.
Yes.
Actually, two. So let me start with this first one. And I don't know if I've ever asked you this before. What is your core philosophy when it comes to restoring and maintaining health holistically?
Wow, that's such a big question. My core philosophy is temperance. And temperance is not moderation. Temperance is avoiding things that are harmful and being moderate with things that are good. Basically, learning to exercise self-control. Because you can drink too much water, you can exercise way too much. But temperance isn't just food. You could be staying up late. You could be, just working too much at the office. You can be watching too much social media. So avoiding things that are harmful and being moderate with those things which are good. That's serious. And that's my core philosophy. Nobody's asked me that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that question.
Great to
Oh,
answer that.
all right. So then, what do you see are some of the biggest health challenges people are facing in 2025?
It's on your poll. It's addiction. We're
Mm.
we Takeout food has become way too convenient. We were designed to work for our food. We were designed to grow our food, harvest our food, get our food. Like, you generally had to earn your meal. So you'd have to go out and get your food together. And I'm not talking about hunting and gathering. I'm talking about, just planting your own garden and growing most of your own foods and then bartering with stuff that you didn't have. We're used to being active gatherers in order to feed our body. And now you hit a button on your phone, it comes to your door. Like, someone else could answer the door and just hand it to you. We literally don't move and still think that we are worthy of having this meal, which the problem has become that the food industry, the science behind the food industry, is not there researching how to make your burgers healthier, how to make your chicken shawarma, add more healthy antioxidants to your body. That's not what the food science industry is doing. They're figuring out how much salt, fat, and sugar should go into a meal to make you want to buy it again, to create that addiction, to hit that dopamine. I know I'm
Dopamine.
saying this without, giving you all the research backgrounds, but do a little research, and that's the absolute truth. So we've become addicted to processed food, to stuff that comes out of a package. We probably started out of convenience, but that's the biggest challenge people are facing, is that we've become addicted to social media. So we're wasting time scrolling through things rather than using that time to go for a walk and hit the gym, spend time with our family. We've become addicted to all of this takeout food. And so you literally are killing yourself to death. We're addicted to alcohol and social gatherings, and we're just destroying our body. We're addicted to sugar, and we keep wanting to have that dessert after meal, or keep something in the freezer all the time to just have a little bit, just a square of chocolate. Like, it's all an addiction. So that's the biggest challenge. I don't think it's that people don't want to. I think that we need to learn how to break these addictions. And that's really what I want to talk about today.
Okay, good stuff. And as I told you, Right Way Home is the support saying, preach. He's going, preach. All right. So
It's so terrible. I'm just so crazy passionate about this
no,
health
it's a,
thing.
passion is a beautiful thing. I'll drop in conversation pieces once in a while. I always want to make sure that you get everything out that you've prepared for our family. So continue on.
No, you can go ahead if there's
Okay.
another
Okay.
question.
All right. So what are some emerging trends in nutrition and holistic health that you believe will shape the way people approach wellness in 2025?
So, I think that the truth is that nothing has changed under the sun, and we're always trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, it sounds like the ketogenic diet is fairly new, but it's just the Atkins diet come back alive, which actually killed and destroyed a lot of people's kidneys and liver, and that's actual facts. I think that there's nothing new out of the sun. I think that we're always trying to reinvent the wheel. And we go from riding a bike outside to a Peloton. Like, we just keep reinventing it so that it seems to be a lot more exciting and fun, but still, getting your exercise in. But I think that there's, nothing like good old fashioned burpees, jumping jacks, going for a walk, and doing some good push-ups. So the problem is that there's new trends. So 2025, there's going to be new diets, but believe me, nothing's new. There's going to be new superfoods, and this is a big thing. Is that we have been conditioned to learn about what's new, but it's not really new. So, CMOS was a big thing, 2023, 2024. Everybody's taking it. Is there any less cancer or any less heart disease? There isn't, because we keep buying into these trends. We keep buying into these superfoods. And the truth is it just comes back to actually living more of a disciplined life, whether it's exercise, whether it's walking, whether it's, making choices with your meals. But 2025 is going to bring us some very new, apparently new trends of eating, new diets, and new superfoods. And I'm telling you, don't believe the hype, friends. Don't believe the hype. There's nothing new out under the sun. You're going to go and eat a diet that's high meat, high fat. You are definitely going to lose weight. Your blood sugar is going to come down. Your blood pressure is going to come down. And then 6 months later, it's going to start climbing up, and you're going to do so much trouble to your kidney and liver that it's going to be hard to recover from. So unfortunately, for a lot of people, the answer is really, whole foods, plant-based as far as possible. Eat in your local environment. We don't grow CMOS here, so you shouldn't be chasing other worlds to get it. Try to eat locally, try to eat healthfully, and as we're going to talk, I know no one wants to hear it, we have to fast regularly.
I love it. So Just Toronado says this: when is the last time someone said, hey, let's meet at the gym or on a hike for a meeting, gathering, or family event? It's usually happy hour drinks, meals at a restaurant, cookout, barbecue.
Exactly.
And she also says, she said a key word, quote, apparently, unquote, new trend. Exactly spot on, Carolyn.
Yeah, that's the reality. I tell my clients this all the time. They say, well, what do I do for social events? And I say, if you can't get out of it, why don't you make other suggestions? Does a social event have to always be around a restaurant or a bar? When I'm meeting with my girlfriends, I'm like, you guys want to go for a walk and then maybe go get a meal afterwards? Like, let's meet at the park. Let's go for a hike. My family will tell you, if any of them are watching right now, that like my ideal birthday is find a trail and let's all go hiking and just put a few, wraps or something or fruits in the backpack. Like, we don't have to there's definitely a place for feasting and social gatherings around food. I mean, you see that through the Bible, you see that through all of history, but we overdo it. We don't always have to be at a restaurant to enjoy a social gathering. Like our friend said, meet at the gym, go for a walk, play a puzzle, do something that gets your brain working. Those have no distractions, and you can actually have real conversations that might stay in the vault, but and that, by the way, Finance IQ had said to you, those are good conversations. And you said, what conversations? I've said so much. She was talking about the vault
conversation. There you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was listening.
I have another producer. I'm multi-purposing here, but it's all good. There's so many differentiations. Okay, I know. And Right Way Home has got looking and thinking about my apparent mind. What are your thoughts on fasting? Because I know you want to talk about the fasting today.
Yeah, this is where we have to get to. Yeah,
okay, so I know there's.
Well, just jump in.
Jump in. Go for it. The world is yours. Go for it.
You've made your goals. You want to achieve your goals, and the best reset for 2025 is, honestly, and again, I'm making a blanket statement with. I'll put a little disclaimer. It's not for everybody, depending on your health issues, your weight, and how much medication you're on. Fasting is not for everybody, but for the average healthy person, and there's people that I get to fast even though they're on medication, but you'd have to definitely consult with me or a health practitioner first. But before you're going to, make your plans, set your goals. Okay, I've figured out what's keeping me from getting that exercise in or from getting my healthy salads in. I'm going to do my groceries. I'm going to plan my meals. But in order to reset, to break those addictions, to reset your palate, fasting is key. And the thing about
We've lost Carolyn for a moment. She got so excited. We've lost her for a moment. So I'm going to take her off for now. When she comes back on, we'll do it. But just just a quick break and just give me a second here, but a few things. And in a way, it worked out okay. I wanted to just do some things. So, for example, if you want to get in touch with Carolyn, number of different ways. The website, EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, email address info@EnergyShackJuiceBar, Instagram @the Energy Shack Juice Bar, Facebook Energy Shack Juice Bar. I think we've lost her. She's just disconnected now, so we'll be good. Then phone number 647-637-6755. And people say, well, is she only based in the Toronto area? No, she has clients globally. She does Zoom meetings, whatever. I know that she has clients in the United States. She has all over the world, so don't be afraid. Also, special offer, consultation with a nutritionist for $49. You can get a consultation for $49 instead of the regular price, $110. When you mention the Morning Vibe or Dr. Vibe, email her at info@Energy Shack Juice Bar. She is back. I just want to finish bigging up Energy Shack Juice Bar here. Also, if you want any consultations, there is a website address. I'll be sharing that on most of the platforms where people are watching this live or the replay. And also, too, if you have any questions about physical health for Carolyn, please email her at info@the Energy Shack Juice Bar and say you saw her on the Morning Vibe. Now, I lost Carolyn. Oh, she's back. All right, let's bring her back. She was so hyped that the things disappeared. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Unfortunately, because I'm doing this from my phone, when a call comes through,
It interrupts.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Do you remember where you were at? We were talking about fasting.
Of course, my brain's in good order.
All right.
So fasting is key, but the key that I was saying, wow, I just like dropped that. I said, the key that is very important is that you've got to fast past 24 hours. Just doing a 1-day fast is not going to do pretty much any kind of reset. You've got to go for more than 24 hours because that first 24 hours, your body's just in storage mode. It's holding on to everything. It's wondering why you're not eating. It's not letting go of anything. Once you cross that 24-hour threshold, your body begins to burn fat for fuel. That's where this whole ketogenic thing came in, because when you burn fat for fuel, it's better than burning glucose for fuel. So your body starts to use up as much glucose as it can for that first 24 hours, but you're not shedding. Now your toxins are stored in your fat cells. So day 2 is awesome. It doesn't feel so awesome all the time, but day 2 is awesome because now you're starting to release toxins as your body burns fat for fuel.
Now, there's different type of fasts, right? So let's go into that.
So here's what I really wanted to bring to the table is that there are tons of different types of fasts. At the Energy Shack, we do an amazing reset for 2025 every year. We do it. We do it every year. Actually, we started this one in December because I was getting the impression that people wanted to reset before January, and so we got a lot of people healed up before the holidays even jumped in, which is awesome. But there's different types of fasts. We do a 7-day challenge, and that might not be for everybody, but let me just talk about the different types of fast. And why I like the 7-day challenge is because it incorporates all of them, all the different types of fast. So number 1, you can just do a caloric deficit. So you can do a raw fast where you're having no cooked food, no canned beans, no meat, nothing that has had any heat on it. It's just raw. So you're having just fruits for breakfast or a salad. You're having just fruits or salad for lunch, and maybe fruits or salad or herbal tea for dinner. So if you want to keep the calories really low, you wouldn't even add raw nuts, seeds, oils, avocado, hemp, or you could add that. But just understand that if you go above 1,000 calories for the day, the body's not going to go into caloric deficit enough to burn fat for fuel. So you really have to keep your calories under 1,000 in order to get into that caloric deficit. So that's kind of a good fast. It's kind of a good it's a good fast. It's not the best reset because you're still getting the sweetness from the fruits. You're still chewing, you're still desiring food. And you might be putting some, even if it's a healthy, you're adding salad dressing to your salads. So it's not the best. You haven't given your digestive organs a break, which means your liver didn't get a break. But it's completely raw. So there's lots of water going into your body with the raw foods, tons of fiber so it can move your bowels, pull out toxins. So there's benefits to a raw fast. And some people, quite frankly speaking, I've got type 1 diabetics on my program. I can't really put them through a complete abstinence of food because their pancreas produces no insulin. So there needs to be a little bit of food. So with that being said, is that a raw food diet for 1 to 5 or 7 days, or even if you did it for a month, is very healthy and healing, but it's not the number one best way to reset.
Just an update here on the poll, which are running live on my YouTube channel. What's
Awesome.
your health goal for 25? In the lead at 50%, increase exercise, and then 17% for reduce takeout food, increase vegetable intake, and increase water intake. So it seems exercise is the key thing here, but you also exercise is only good also if you combine with right food intake.
Yeah, you got that right. I meet a lot of people that go to the gym and justify their garbage eating, and I'm sorry to call it garbage eating, but there is food out there that is garbage. But they justify their unhealthy choices, that they're small, they're not a big deal. Plus, I burn it off at the gym. Well, that's so counterproductive. And going to the gym, exercise, it moves your lymph system. It strengthens your immune system. It helps to release endorphins. It increases your serotonin. It helps with digestion. There's so many benefits to exercise. It increases your bone density to avoid osteoporosis. There's just so many benefits to exercise, but if your body is congested, your circulation's off, you're putting inflammatory foods in there, it's so counterproductive.
Okay. All right. And Just Tornado is saying, I'm enjoying this. Thank you, Dr. Vibe. Also says, call it by its right name. Garbage. I think it would be good to have you two meet each other.
I think so too.
Absolutely. Okay. Wayne Harris says, good morning, Miss Carolyn. I'm
He's such a
loving.
precious-
He goes, I'm loving the healthy lifestyle dream. Thanks to you and the Energy Shack for all the watching and listening. Carolyn is the truth.
Amen.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Wayne is the hard worker, that's for sure. He didn't get to where he is just by my instructions. He had to put it into practical living, and he is living proof. I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, of like being able to have a lot of social gatherings and not always falling prey to everything they're serving. That takes a lot of will. That takes a lot of manpower, because for some people, they might be embarrassed to say, I'm not gonna have that drink, or I'm gonna pass up that steak. It's like, what? You're gonna have a salad? Are you a real man? It's like, yeah, I'm such a real man that I care about my health and my family's health, that I want to be around for a long time. So yeah, Wayne has been key at being able to not be embarrassed and not be ashamed to change that conversation, even in social gatherings. Like, my hat's off to the amount of work that him and his wife put into this program, and it paid off.
And it's continuing to pay off. He goes,
Yeah.
Fasting works.
Yeah. He's a witness.
Fasting works 100%. Want to ask, juicing is a big part of your approach.
Yeah.
Can you explain the benefits of juicing and how it helps restore health?
Yeah. So yeah, we're super connected, because that's segment number 2 here. That's the next one, is juicing. So is juicing a great fasting? Yes. if the juices are made right. So again, just working with a lot of people that are saying, I'm juicing every morning, that like, I know it's so healthy. Okay, what's in your juice? Well, I've got my apple, my carrots, my beets with a stick of ginger. You have sugar in your cup and you are feeding your diabetes. So where's your celery, your cucumbers, your green leafy vegetables?
Wow.
Yeah.
Carolyn
So
is not playing.
I'm not playing. Yeah, and especially of our island friends, they like to put a little tip of condensed milk inside their beet and carrot juice. And like, what are we doing? We're just increasing inflammation here. Stop fooling ourselves. So fruits, unless you're doing an extremely long fast where you're going to, 5 days or more, your juices for fasting should be mainly vegetables. And if you're juicing on your own, don't make more than half the juice to be carrots and just a quarter of the juice to be beets, because beets have a pigment in them that we know it's so red. It takes a lot of action with your digestive enzymes to get that pigment out. And that can make super loose bowels. You drink that too fast and you could end up throwing up. So, really, number one, take it slow with your juices, but make them mostly green juices. And the benefits to that is that if it's mostly green juices, not a lot of carrots, not a lot of beets, you don't have any apples or pineapple in there, you have very low calories with tons of vegetable nutrients. You've got 5 pounds of vegetables in one bottle of our juices, and some of them you have even more. You're not going to eat through 5 pounds of vegetables 3 times a day, but you could drink it. So no, you're not getting the fiber, but don't worry, the fiber will come later when you go through breaking the fast. Right now, what you're doing is you're adding chlorophyll to your blood, which strengthens your blood. Your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys, they depend on antioxidants. They depend on your E vitamins. They depend on these nutrients, the beta carotene, all those nutrients that are your phytonutrients that are deep inside your green leafy vegetables that your body's absorbing so quick because there's no fiber to slow it down. And then you don't give yourself a sugar spike. So your pancreas gets an amazing break. And then your cells begin to restore because they're live. Ours are organic, live, unpasteurized, fresh juices. And so now dead cells just come alive. And of course, you can add some superfoods in there if you want, a little bit of spirulina or wheatgrass if you need to. But again, look for local superfoods. I mean, wheatgrass is grown here locally. Chlorella, spirulina, those are brought in, sea vegetables, but you can still get that in Canada. So try not to, I need this superfood and that, but just doing vegetable juices 2, 3, 5, or I'll explain the 7 days shortly. But vegetable juice fasting is very healing as long as you're not sweetening them with fruits and you've given up caffeine. It's just water, herbal tea between the juices.
Fire, fire, fire. So update on the poll. So right now, 62% increase exercise and even
Yeah.
12% reduce takeout food, increase vegetable intake, and also increase water intake. So it seems that the exercise one is working. That's the key. Now, Just Tornado says, I would love to meet Carolyn. She would lace up the hokas and hit the trail runs with me. My
Yeah,
God.
sure would.
She's in Houston, but we'll make that happen. So Wayne has a question. Heading back to the doctor for a full blood test, what should I do to add to the test? And this, I also want to ask an additional question in regards to that, but you answer his question first.
Yeah, so Wayne, as you're doing, definitely you'll want to go on a minimum 3-day fast with 2 days of raw after before that. Not a whole lot that you really need to do, except what I would do just for you specifically is that I would add that liver tea or the renal tea, something that's going to give your liver and kidneys a little bit of extra cleansing, or the milk thistle, just to try to get those two organs to just go to next level of healing, and take that while you're fasting so that herbal tea is like going right to the kidney, right to the liver.
So I want to add on to that. And I think I've told you this in the past. If I haven't, and I'll tell you now. And a lot of people who are family know this about me. I go to my doctor every month
Mm-hmm.
because one day I know I won't be able to. So I like to be on the offensive, not the defensive. Last time I went, he tried to do a blood test. He couldn't get a vein. And he said, "Did you drink any water that morning?" I said, "No." He says, "Make sure you drink a lot of water," because he says, "I have small veins and they're not easy to find." Okay, there's another call that came through for Carolyn because we just lost her again. So I'll pull her off the screen. We've lost her again. So yeah, this happens when I go for, because I have small veins. So if I don't drink a lot of water before I go to my doctor, I can't get a blood test done. So Wayne, I hope you don't have that challenge, but it's something that I know some people may have with. So please check that. Okay, Carolyn is back. The calls, man, I can't believe hey, this is, my goodness, not even 10 o'clock yet, and the phone is off the hook.
Yeah, not really. I wish I could block it, but
That's okay. No, it's all right. It's all right. We work around it. But yeah, so
but
when
yeah,
you,
that hydration thing is so real. It's so real. Yeah. 90% of high blood pressure clients could reduce their blood pressure naturally just by increasing their water intake to 2 to 3 liters a day.
all right,
Yeah.
so just but the look on your face when they said they couldn't find my veins, you sort of went, what?
Yeah, I knew I was going to say your blood is thick or you didn't drink water. That's exactly what I was going to say.
100%. Just
Yeah.
Tornado says, and those store-bought fresh juices on the go are so sugar laden and no health in them, even though they are promoted as such.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We got to start reading our ingredients.
Yes.
And the truth is, like, you can actually fast. I wouldn't recommend it for long periods of time, but even if you don't have a juicer, you're not close enough to the energy shack to get your juices. But you could fast on water. You could do a water fast. So that would be the next suggestion that I have, is that you could go 2 days. I wouldn't be going longer than 2 days without supervision, but you could go 2, maybe 3 days on just water. But now you have no calories. So your body's going to burn through the most amount of fat, which means it's going to release the most amount of toxins. I mean, you could for sure add some herbal teas to that. You could boil up a whole bunch of vegetables. You can strain them off and just drink the broth. So there's lots of ways to make your water a little interesting, but still make sure you're drinking lots of water. But you could avoid the vegetable juice altogether and you could just do a water fast. But please, I want to caution you, don't do longer than 2 days unless you're supervised. I know people do 21-day with water and all of that, but make sure you've talked to a health practitioner before you do that. But water fasting is also extremely healing.
Excellent. Let me no, do you have more? Because I have, I always come with a conversation
Okay,
piece.
you go. I have one
Okay.
more type of fasting, but I'll share it
Okay,
after.
all right. So are there any misconceptions about juicing or detoxing that you'd like to address?
So as far as misconceptions go, I think that I've heard from a lot of people that we don't need to detox because our body already does that naturally. And I would agree. We are always in detox mode. So that's for sure. However, when you are constantly eating, you're not giving your body a chance to catch up on old toxins. That's the problem, is that most of us have a toxic overload. We're in the moment. We're doing the work. Your liver's doing the work of what you just ate. But most of us are putting in more toxins than our liver, our kidneys can flush out on a day-to-day basis. So that's one misconception that I hear a lot, is that we don't really need to fast or detox because our body is naturally in detox mode. And that's right. Your liver, the largest detox organ, your liver is the most important or the main detox organ. Your skin is the largest detox organ, which is why if you're very pimply, rashy, or itchy, I'm sure your liver or kidneys probably backed up. but yeah, that's one big misconception. And then the other one, which we kind of already addressed, is that people will go through these fasting periods, or they'll get a detox, not from the Energy Shack, where the juices are laden with sugar and they think they're doing their body a favor. And unfortunately, they're not.
All right. Just Tornado says my juicer and Vitamix stay running.
So that's an important thing. I'm glad she mentioned that. So a Vitamix wouldn't be very valuable on a detox, but the juicer would. So I'm talking about removing. So in a Vitamix is good for everyday use. You're making your salad dressings or a pureed soup. I'm not a big fan of drinking smoothies. I mean, you could do a smoothie fast, but again, you're getting all the fiber. It's a lot of calories. So the Vitamix is great for daily use, but when you are going into detox mode or fasting, that's when you're pulling out the juicer, where the pulp is extracted from the juice of the vegetables, and you're just drinking the vegetable juice.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Good stuff. Mignon Cam says, and good morning, Mignon Cam says, I've been enjoying my bone broth. I've noticed my face looks brighter. Okay. Just Tornado says, yes, the Vitamix is for my quick soups.
Perfect. And it will even heat it up.
There you go. Let me ask, what are some common challenges people face when transitioning to a more holistic approach to health?
So if you don't jump into the fast first, you really go through some big challenges of not being able to cleanse the palate. So it's really hard to overcome those sugar addictions. So that's why I recommend that you do the fasting first. But challenges people will always say is time. I don't have time to prepare all my food. I don't have time to go to the gym. You know what? You're given 24 hours a day. You get to choose what to do with that. Of course, if you don't work, you don't get paid, you don't eat, for sure. But, really take inventory of how you're spending that time every day. And if there's any kind of idle anything you're doing, be it watch TV, scroll through social media, I don't think we realize how much time we waste looking at unnecessary things. I mean, coming to something like this, of course, the shows that you have, this is not a waste of your time. And somebody could be driving to work, listening. You can multitask a little bit. But, your time is your own, and you choose what to do with your time. And the real reality is that my workouts in the morning are like 15 minutes. It's an intense 15 minutes, but I don't have an hour to go to the gym. I'm only eating twice a day. So I don't need to have that extra time to make dinner because I'm having 2 good meals a day, and I don't need that extra time for dinner. So, like, you can't get out for a walk, then park way at the back of the grocery store. Walk in 5-10 minutes to get there. Stop parking right at the front. Try to find a way. I had to go to the post office. My daughter was with me. She was a little late for an appointment. I said, you know what? Leave me at the post office. You go your way. I'm going to walk back. Right? So you can find time to do things where you need to when you make your health a priority.
Okay. Just Tornadoes coming in furious and loving it. Says, I would love to hear Carolyn's thoughts on fruitopians, those who are just living off of one fruit of their choice for months on end.
Yeah, I'm never a fan, number one, of extreme diets. I'm not a fan of mono meals either. And unfortunately, it's not possible to get all of your phytonutrients and antioxidants just from fruits. So I know I have a very close friend of mine that is a fruitopian, and they only eat fruits. Their iron is low. Their kid is so skinny and not well. Their skin is pale. They've been doing this for so long. They're not getting enough protein. So I'm not a fan. I believe there could come a time when my vegetables and fruits are not going to be available to me. Who knows what I'll eat? But while we have the ability, we should be having a wide range of nuts, grains, seeds, beans, fruits, and vegetables.
All right. Good stuff. Let me ask, everyone's body is different. how do you approach personalized in nutrition to meet each individual's unique needs?
Yeah, so there's a reason why we have actually 14 different types of detoxes because I was just consulting with a client yesterday and they both want to jump into a 5-day fast. Her kidney function is not at the optimal level, so she can't have, spinach and kale and all of these wonderful green vegetables in her juices, even though it's healthy for her. I'm working with diabetics all the time. They can't have even half the cup can't be carrots. I have to take all the carrots out of their juices. So in talking to me, again, I'm not going to pretend that I for sure know everything about every disease, but been definitely doing this for more than a decade and been making juices.
Okay, another phone call came through, so we got to pull Carolyn off. This is the price. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to get to the office because of traffic, Toronto traffic. So Minion Cam says, walking home with my trolley shopping is almost 30 pounds in my weekly grocery shop. I think car owners are not getting that workout. Shopping cart. There we go. All right. Good stuff. So we'll just wait for Carolyn to come back. And so family, please reach out to Carolyn. And just Tornado, if you are still watching, what I will do, okay, so here's Carolyn's contact information. I would say reach out to her via email. Tell her that you saw her on the Morning Vibe and you can have that chat. Okay, Carolyn is back. Popularity lady, there she is. She's back in town.
Sorry, so unprofessional. No. I apologize.
Hey, it's okay. Okay. Can you pick up where you left off? Do you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So very important anyway to have that wide range, that variety, but also to just definitely do the consultation because we use Google as our doctor and Google is not always right. So it's important to speak with a human professional. AI is not always the answer, as I shared my pet peeve this morning. But if you've got a health condition, you've got to talk to a professional before you even jump into fasting, detoxing, or eating right. I mean, someone with the underactive thyroid shouldn't even be putting spinach in their salad. Strawberries are not good for them. So we definitely need to have a conversation because we are in the business of customizing. Most juice bars, you can pick the advanced fast, the beginner's fast, the intermediate fast, but you can't choose the fast for blood pressure, for blood sugar. That's like so unique to the Energy Shack because I lead with your health. And in order to do that, like I really care about your healing, I have to customize my juices for you.
100%. And this is wild today. If you're watching live, as we're going further in the conversation, more and more people are tuning in live, which is nice. Out of bounds. This is beautiful. So how can people learn to listen to their bodies and recognize what they truly need for better health?
Yeah, Dr. Vibe, that's a great question. So when you clean out and you do this fasting, and I'm going to share my final type of fasting, even though there are a few other ones, but when you clean out and you go through fasting and you learn what hunger feels like, what thirst feels like, what good finally feels like, what optimum circulation feels like, when you start introducing food again, your body speaks to you. I am satiated. I am hungry. I am thirsty. And you start to know those signals. We so randomly eat. We snack all the time. I don't believe in snacking. 2 meals a day, water and only water between your meals. Don't just eat to eat. But you don't really know that until you've either gone through a monitored program where your nutritionist is telling you, wait 1 hour after you've eaten before you even drink water. Let your body use its gastric juices to digest before you dilute them. When you can follow the proper rhythm of your circadian rhythm, your balance that you were designed in, you start to be able to listen. But the best way I know how to do that is put the brakes on first and just go into fasting, which we talked about, whether that's a raw fast, not the best, but it has its benefits, a vegetable juice fast, a water fast. And shall I give the fourth and last one? So
Da-da-da-da.
dry fasting is another one, which is a little strange and sounds very odd, but can be extremely healing.
And what's involved in dry fasting?
So dry fasting is where you actually put your body into safe dehydration. So that means you're going to have to dry fast for 16 to 24 hours. So this means you're not drinking water, you're not drinking juice, you're not eating food. I recommend you don't even take a shower during those times or brush your teeth. You are staying away from all forms of liquid. Cover up if it's raining outside. Don't let liquid touch your body. Let it go into dehydration mode. And why would someone want to dehydrate themselves? Like, what on earth are you talking about, Carolyn? Should I answer my own question? So
Please.
So here's the reality is that a lot of times we drink water, we have to pee. We drink water, we have to pee. We're not always getting the water into the cells. And we're also deep in your interstitial, like they're in your interstitial fluid. There's water there that's not always recycled through the body. So when you put yourself through safe dehydration, you force your body to go deep into those interstitial fluids and pull out water to get it into the bloodstream. And so then it will have to replenish it with fresh water once you start drinking again. But it forces your body to go deep into your cells, pull out the fluids that are in there. With that's going to come toxins. And here's the other really amazing key for fasting is that fasting is very healing. Fasting can help fight cancer. Fasting can help your liver begin to function again. But even bad cells, your fibroids, your cancer cells, your viruses, even bad cells need water. So when you cut off the water supply in a safe manner, and I'm going to explain how to make this safe. When you cut off the water supply in a safe manner, you heal. Your healing goes so deep. It goes really deep. And I'm going to show you how to pull this all together to do the best reset of 2025.
100%. Okay, more people. Michelle Busan, and I think I totally knew. I've never. Hopefully, it sounds like you're the first time, not the last. One. She says, "Hi, I'm from Iowa. I try to eat 2 meals, and I'm 64. No meds either."
Amen, sister.
And she also has a thumbs up for what you're saying. She goes a thumbs up emoji. Colin Williams, yes, says Energy Shack is the real deal.
Amen. Thank you, Colin.
And then Michelle says, well, this is me. Love eating beef sticks for my breakfast. Ugh, that wouldn't be okay. I would suggest you may want to do a consultation with Carolyn on that, but I'm just making suggestions. I'm not telling you, I'm just making suggestions. I am just making suggestions. But hey, if you only have to eat 2 meals a day, hopefully they're proper meals each day. But,
by the sounds of it, they're probably pretty okay.
All right. Then so how can people create health habits that are sustainable in the long term rather than following short-term trends or fads?
Yeah, so that's a really good question because, you could start off with, I know not everybody was here from the beginning, but we were talking about setting your health goals and then grabbing another paper or another sheet in your folder and saying, how am I going to practically achieve these goals? And what is interfering in me accomplishing them and being able to take those interferences out? But, many times we get so gung ho. Our world, because of social media, has become extremist. Everyone wants to, do something extreme that gets a lot of views and, they haven't seen it before. So we become extremists. But you don't need to be an extremist with your health. You've got 20 pounds to lose. You don't got to lose that in 2 months. Like literally, if you lost a pound a week or 2 pounds a month, say you lost 2 pounds a month, there's 12 months of the year. By the end of the year, you would have lost your 20 pounds. So we don't have to be extremists, but you also don't want to you don't want to just stay in your comfort zone either. It's important to push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone, exercise some self-control. So the best way to do that is to set realistic goals. Yes, I want to hit the gym. Am I going to hit it 5 days a week? Let me decide that I'm going to do every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll do that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month. And then I'm going to move it to 3 days. Or maybe I'm doing 2 days at the gym, but 2 days at home. Like make it realistic. To say, as we were sort of formulating this survey, to say that I'm going to have no takeout food for 2025 is just not realistic. But can you reduce it? And what are you going to reduce it to? So try not to set yourself up for failure of saying absolute hard no's. I'm never going to have this again. Well, that's great. And eventually you'll get there. I mean, I used to, what did I used to do that I couldn't give up? Ice cream. I became like vegan at 17, but it wasn't until I was like, I think 26 or 27 that I finally had my last ice cream. I was like, you know what? I'm never having it again. But it took me a long time to get there. It was like once a month, then 2 times a year, then just on my birthday. And then I'm just like, what's the point? Why am I doing this? So for me, I have a lot of nevers in my diet, but I'm there now. But I wasn't always there. So just be patient with your process, but still set goals and still try to be disciplined in your habits. But
That's the key word.
Yeah, but
discipline.
Be.
Okay, another call came through, so we gotta wait. All right, so just to catch up, I'm gonna do. Oh, that was. Oh, okay, that was.
Okay,
quick.
I've learned how to do it. So I can jump back on.
Good. All right. You wanted to finish up your point?
No, I was just saying you don't have to be extreme, but it is important to not stay in your comfort zone if your comfort zone is creating bad habits for you.
All right. This conversation's been out of bounds. It's so good. So just an update on the poll on the YouTube channel, the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel. The question is, what is your health goal for 2025? You have 4 choices. Number 1 still is consistent exercise, 58%. Reduce takeout food, 17%. Increase water intake, 17%. And increase vegetable intake, 8%. Interesting.
So that's probably because a lot of people are eating vegetables.
Let's hope. All right.
Yeah. I'm seeing the glass half full, girl.
All right. Just turn out. It says I have a meeting, but I will definitely.
Well, I'm going to show you guys in the next 2 minutes how you can put all these fasts together if Jess can hang around.
No problem, Jess, but I will definitely come back and catch. I got to get you and her to chat. I know that's a magical conversation. Janice Logan says, "Hi, Carolyn. Could you please?" Janice? She goes, "Could you please repeat the raw meals to eat after a 3-day fast? Is it fruit followed by raw vegetables for breakfast, then the same for lunch, and then dinner?" Okay.
So I'm just about to share.
All right.
That was a good segue.
And we just actually had an update and another update on the poll. So it seems that we've got people with 54% consistent exercise, 23% increased water intake, 15% reduced takeout food, and 8% increased vegetable intake.
I like that people are thinking water. Maybe because I said you could cure your blood pressure.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Go ahead. I know you want to combine some things together.
Well, here's the thing: is that as I mentioned, every year at the Energy Shack we do this 7-day detox challenge. So. And you can do this on your own. I mean, you can totally get it from the Energy Shack. We're running a special right now, but you do it in a heat. You do it in a group. So it's the last 2 weeks of January. And basically what you're doing is day 1, water only. So Sunday, you're on a water only fast. You pick up your juices or you make your juices, and then you go through 5 days of vegetable juice. On the 4th day, you get a little bit of a fruit juice. But the rest of the time, all your other 13 juices, all vegetables. So you did a water fast. You did 5 days of vegetable juice, and on the on your 6th day of fasting, in that evening, like early evening, 4 or 5 o'clock, all your juice is gone, all your water's gone, and you dry fast, count out 16 hours till the morning. And then you break that fast with a vegetable juice, and then later on you can jump into a salad or a bowl of fruits. And then for the next 3 days, as Janice was asking, it's fruits only for breakfast, salad only for lunch, and then either another salad or herbal tea for dinner. You could be like me and have your salad for breakfast and your fruits for lunch, but one meal is fruits, another meal is salad, and you do that for 3 days. The first day, don't bring in any oils, any fats, any nuts or seeds. And then on day 2 and 3 of breaking the fast, that's when you can start adding a little bit more of the fat, of the good fats. But that's how you can bring it all together. I mean, you don't have to do 7-day challenge, but you certainly could. But you could just do 1 day water, 2 days juice, a 16-hour dry fast, but you can mix it up and then add a couple days of raw at the end.
All right.
That's the perfect reset. You've got them all in 1 week, one shot, one fast.
Wow. All right. We laying it down. I'm telling you, and the family is loving it today. We got so many people added today. So let me ask, what role does preventative care play in holistic health? How can people stay proactive about their health? I think you've talked about the proactive, but what role does preventative care play in holistic health?
So you know what? This is an age-old saying that prevention is the best cure, and that has not changed. Like I said, nothing.
And thousands of years ago, people knew what they were talking about that we're thinking we've just discovered today. So, I always wish that I could talk to somebody 10 years. Most of the clients that I'm meeting are like, 45, 50, 45 to 70 years old. That's kind of my main customer base. And it'd be great to talk to them when they were 20, when they were 30, when they were 15. So, really trying to make, I'm a person, I'm not a big planner, but I do look ahead and I think about, what, I'm 50 right now. If I, say I was inconsistent with exercise, if I could just work out 3, 4, 5 times a week for the next year, what would I look like at 55? You don't want to be 55 and say, I should have started this when I was 50. You don't want to be 40 and you've got that extra 20, 30 pounds and wish you didn't eat so bad for the whole year before. So really try to think about, if God spares, what does my life look like in a year if I could just be more disciplined now, right? It makes such a difference because most people that I'm talking to, less than 10% is a genetic issue. It's because their lifestyle's been off. Not for last year, not for last month, for so long, and it's finally caught up.
All right. I have a feeling that you've had a switch in microphone. I think you're using your phone microphone instead of, because the audio has changed a little bit. Okay, that's better because you.
Is it working?
That's better. That's better. Can you hear us? Uh-oh. We have a little bit of an audio. Okay, so we've lost her again. No problem. We'll just wait for her to come back. We'll start winding it down when she comes back. And and Janice, I see your comment. We'll put it up so when Carolyn comes back, we'll put that, but we'll start winding it down. Okay, here she looks like she's coming back. She is back. Yes, she is back.
Yeah, constant. Anyway.
Okay, so
I know we're wrapping up, but yes, you're right. The microphone switched without me realizing.
No problem.
Not very technical on the fly, so I couldn't figure that out.
You don't get good, get done. We got it. So Carolyn's Janice says, "Love you, Carolyn."
Yeah, I love you, Janice.
So she is saying there, and then also, so as we start winding it down, what do you see as the future of holistic nutrition? Are there innovations or shifts you're excited about?
I'm hoping people will I hope there's a shift of getting back to basics, but I'm not really feeling that. I see that there's a crowd out there that really is tired of all the glitz and glamour and the new trends and the new fads, but the reality is that's the small minority. But I'm hoping that there will be a shift into getting back to basics. We don't need a new diet trend. We don't need new equipment. We don't need fancy saunas. Like, let's just go to sleep early, go outside, get fresh air, exercise even from your home, eat your food in its most whole state, not have all these dinners and sleep on our food, choose water rather than other beverages that are way too easy to get through drive through. Like, can we just get back to basics? It doesn't cost a lot of money to be healthy, to be honest. Like
Facts.
beans and rice and cabbage, like, still the cheapest food on the planet. We don't have to get fancy and do all these fancy things. We need to get back to basics. So I hope that that would be the new trend, but I feel like I'm one of the few small voices that are speaking it.
Okay, then also too, could you share a simple recipe or health tip that our family could start using today to improve their health?
A simple recipe or health tip. You know what? I am going to say the best thing that you could do for your health, if you're not going to even jump into fasting, is eat your salads. Now, not a lot of people love their salads, so you could just make your salad so wonderful by adding a healthy dressing. So, no vinegar, no store-bought dressings, no canola
Lemon
oil.
vinaigrette, lemon
Yes,
vinaigrette
fresh
dressing.
lemon juice, blend that together. You could do simple. You could just do lemon juice, olive oil with a hint of sea salt and a touch of maple syrup. But if you want to, like, I love my Caesar dressing, I love my ranch dressing. If you just take half a cup of sunflower seeds, soak them in water to make them more creamy. Hot water is not too hot, but a little bit of warm water for like 20-30 minutes. Blend those sunflower seeds with about a quarter cup of lemon juice, a little hint, like a teaspoon of maple syrup, maybe about a quarter cup of olive oil. And you can avoid the olive oil if you want, because there is fats in the sunflower seeds, and add a clove or two of garlic and a bit of sea salt, and you will have the most creamy, delicious dressing. You will love your salad. You will love your salad, and you'll be doing your body a favor.
Okay. This may be along the same line of what I just asked you, but if there's one piece of advice you give someone looking to restore their health in 2025, what would it be?
It would actually be to start fasting. Yeah.
There you
I
go.
mean, salads need to be part of everybody's everyday. But if we're talking about restoring your health, you've got to go through fasting. And if you're a little nervous about it, I mean, Janice just came off hers. Wayne's just doing his or just finished. But, there's a lot of people on here that are already on that kick. But fasting is so healing. So take advantage of the consultation offer. Talk to me. Sign up for the 7-day challenge. Come to our retreat. There's a wonderful retreat at the Windermere Resort. By the way, the early bird discount ends on Wednesday. You get $100 off. Go to our website, look at the retreats, single accommodations with the discounts, $1,500. And we are at the very pish posh Windermere Resort for 4 days. We feed you, do the therapies, and you learn in the process. So there's lots of ways to do it, but fasting is really the most healing thing you could do. And regular fasting, you're going to need to fast every 30 days. Man, I fast every week. Like, fasting is so healing.
All right. Right Way Home says, old is new again.
Yeah.
And also says, ask a question, what role does environment play in health for melanated people? Should they be going to tropical climate yearly to be part of our health regiment? Sorry.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's for sure the truth that if you have melanated skin, it is harder for you to get vitamin D in your body, and taking supplements aren't always the answer. However, it is proven that if you could spend at least an hour outside in the summer through all of the summer months before 11 o'clock, your vitamin D, which is a fat soluble vitamin, will store enough to last you through the winter. Most of us are not getting an hour outside. So it's possible you could get that sunshine in North America, but if you're not doing it, you might have to go to a tropical country to get it in. But the truth is, if we could somehow get outside, I mean, 2 hours is better, but a minimum of 1 hour, and you'd need it almost every day through the summer.
I think that's a wrap.
I think that's a wrap.
You need to get to your office eventually. I don't want to keep you.
Clearly.
Yes, because the calls are coming through. So as we wrap it up, there is information about Energy Shack Juice Bar. And again, if you're on one of my platforms, it's in the comments section, but I'm putting it on the screen. So I don't want to hear people say, oh, you didn't put it on the screen. Well, it's on the screen now, and it's also in your comments. Also, if you want a consultation, there we go. You can get it for $49 instead of $110 when you mention the Morning Vibe or Dr. Vibe. Email info@theenergyshackjuicebar.com. And one thing I got to do next time is put your physical address of the store.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in Scarborough. That'd be great.
Yes. Also, if you want consultations, there is the link.
Yeah, you can go there. You can check out the retreats. You can check out the 7-day detox challenge. You can look at our 14 different detoxes. Yes.
There you go. And then also, if you have any questions about physical health, please email Carolyn at info@theenergyshackjuicebar.com and say you saw in the Morning Vibe. My mind is saying to do another 3-day juice fast this month. Really, no, my stomach just isn't feeling right. And I just feel that I need to go that direction. Anything else you want to share with us before we let you start up your engine and room?
Well, I just want to remind everybody to be gentle with the journey. I've shared a lot of things and you may not be able to do all of them, but let's just go back to what we talked about. Take a few minutes, quiet time in a book, not in your phone. Write out your health goals. Write out also how you're going to practically achieve each one of them and what changes you need to make it happen. Don't make them extreme. Start small. You'll get better. But make those goals, plan those goals. 2024 came and went so quickly.
Yes.
Imagine you had done those goals. You would be in an even better place. And I know some of you listening have. So 2025 is going to be gone before we know it. Make those goals now. Get a little bit out of your comfort zone. Talk to me if you need to. But let's make every single day count for your health. And if I can say, the kingdom.
You just did. And one of the things it's unfortunate they don't do anymore, most places don't give out the traditional calendars anymore. Because I think those are good because you could write down in the box.
I have them all over. I have one at my desk, one behind my desk. They're pinned up on the walls all over the office. I live by physical calendars. Yeah,
because you can say, what are you filling each box with?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, friend, get to the office.
Thank you, audience, for hanging with us for the show. That's so awesome. Really love and appreciate your support.
Family from the U.S. and Canada. This is a beautiful thing, and I'm excited. This is an exciting year for Energy Shack Juice Bar. This is going to be it's already been, it's just going to get more exciting. And people, I would suggest even spending that $49 and get your eyes opened. It's not an expense. It's an investment.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an investment.
All right. Thanks for having me, Dr. Vibe, and tell your Vibe family. God bless you.
And also next month, because it's Valentine's month, family, Carolyn's gonna be back talking about heart health.
Heart health, 100%.
Heart health next month. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. And you're doing both. God bless you.
All right. Take care.
Be well. Keep the faith. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, family. That is it today. We had a whole pile of stuff going on today. Oh, and I should actually give final results of the poll. Yes, I should do that. Let me just do this. All right. So final results of the poll that we were doing on the Dr. Vibe Show website. If I can get it. Okay. So what are your health goals for 2025? Number one response, 50% constant exercise. Then 29% increased water intake. 14% reduced takeout food. And then finally, 7% increased vegetable intake. I'm hoping that all of you doing your vegetable, because if you're not, Carolyn ain't going to be happy about that. All right. Good stuff. McMillan Group says, this was such an informative conversation. Thanks, Carolyn. Yeah, Carolyn was just amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Want to thank everyone who watched this live on the replay. It's appreciated, not take it for granted. Coming up on Friday's show, I have someone talking about it. Actually, a licensed doctor. She was living in the United States and now living in Canada and talking about what they're not telling you about health. What they're not telling you about health. And I've had a lot of conversation with her. So this is almost like a health week. There are going to be some things, as a medical practitioner, talking about things that drug companies are not telling you about health. All right. That is it. So let's, as always, shut it down. We have these things to do. Let me just see if my mouse will behave. There we go. As always, let's do it this way. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also, to advertise your business, product, or service on the Dr. Vibe Show, please email me, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Also, join our Discord group, where I'll be putting the link for the replay of this in there. And also, Minnie on Can does a lot of posts in there. And want some other people start getting activated, start telling about stuff that's going on, what you're doing to help benefit others. Email me, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. What else do we got today? So, also, if you want to get in touch with Ryan O'Neill Knight, and that's Knight, by the way. LinkedIn, Ryan O'Neill Knight. Instagram at ryan.knight99, and email workwithme@ryano'neillknight.com. And along the bottom, you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Afro-Caribbean Business Network on Facebook, and then Ryan O'Neill Knight on YouTube. So this is how we ended off. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions. Then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. And also, if you're not making money, make history. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith. Walk good. And thank you, everyone watching live on the replay. It's appreciated and not taken for granted. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith and walk good.